Good morning.
Hi, Dan.
Good morning.
You are there.
I'm here.
Well, I know you're not here, that's for sure. Okay. District.
Alice, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Can you tell me how to spell or pronounce your last name, please? Is it Pegram or Pegram?
Pegram. You did good.
Pegram. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Related to Shawnee Pegram?
Yes, I used to be.
Oh, you used to be.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I'm having in here. Oh, I don't want that. That's not good. Why did that happen? Huh. It says I'm still meeting with the ambulance. Away from it.
Okay. Good.
I'll try it.
Am I good to start? Oh, yep, we're good. Good morning. It is Friday, May 29th. All three commissioners are here with Monica Reeves in our public meeting room, commissioners meeting room, and we have a public hearing, and that is a hearing to consider a request by Alice Pegram for a conditional rezone, case number CR 2019-0018. And it looks like Dan Lister is joined us by WebEx from the DFD Department of Canyon County. Tricia Nielsen, who is the director of the DFD Department of Canyon County. Alice Pegram, are you on the line?
Yes, I am.
Very good. Welcome, and thank you for joining us. And Dan, I believe, is there anybody else that has joined us by WebEx or telephone? Please identify yourself at this time. Alice, if you would identify yourself and give us your name and address, and then we'll have Monica swear in. Okay?
Alice Pegram. My address is 26629 Upper Pleasant Ridge Road, Wilder, and I'm the property owner.
Okay. Okay. Tricia Nielsen, Dan Lister, Alice Pegram, do you swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth? So help you God?
Yes.
I do.
Okay. Dan, if you'd like to, please.
All right. Good morning, Madam Chair and Commissioners. I'm Dan Lister, Planner 2 for Canyon County Development Services. Before you today is a request from Alice Pegram regarding a conditional rezone request for her property to change it from agricultural to a conditional rezone of rural residential. The slide here shows the property boundaries of the parcel in question and the surrounding area. The current, as you can see on site, I'm going to use my annotation device here. Her house is located in this upper area up on Upper Pleasant, and she also has a secondary residence here on Back Corner Road. This parcel has already utilized their first land division by splitting the property off with this property here back in 1999. This request comes with a development agreement to limit the parcels to what you see on the screen. So one of the parcels will be 3 acres, parcel A, which right now has a secondary dwelling. So that would be divided off from the property. And then parcel B, which currently has a barn, that 3 acres would be divided off the property for their family member to build a house. And then the remainder, parcel C, would have a building envelope of approximately 2 acres at the up on Upper Pleasant Road, where Miss Pegram's house is currently located, and then the rest of it outside of that building envelope would remain in agricultural only uses. No building permits would be allowed or structures allowed on that area, in that area. So it would preserve agricultural land. On this screen here shows the current zoning. The zoning shows predominantly this area is agricultural. To the right is our future land use plan, which wants to, our comprehensive plan wants to keep this agricultural. Going back to the zoning map, you'll see there's a couple of conditional rezones that have been approved in that area with a similar result. So it was a request, these two were requests to get a building permit or a split, an extra split, by providing a certain amount of ag land to be preserved as part of it. So this is in line with other approvals that have occurred in this area. As you can see in this slide here, the subdivisions in this area, there's very little. A lot of these subdivisions that have been approved in this area are older subdivisions that don't meet our code today, but were approved under a different code back in the past. You can see the farm land map. It shows that this is the best suited soil for best suited soil and is considered prime farmland. So the preservation of what is being requested as part of this development agreement, it would be beneficial in this area. Comments received, we have Golden Gate Highway District that is neutral, and they just request review at the time of land division, which if this were to be approved, they would just have to do an administrative land division application to get the divisions, and at that point, Golden Gate Highway District would be able to review that application. And any further development would require an access permit. Idaho Transportation Department did not oppose this request. They didn't feel that this request would impact their state highway system. Boise Project Board of Control did submit a letter, and they just wanted to state that they have the Albright drain on the west portion of the property, and they just don't want any encroachments or modifications to that unless they get approval. And in the draft development agreement and the before you, that is one of the conditions that they obtain written permission if they do any modification. We did receive a comment letter from a neighbor during the Planning and Zoning Commission stage of the process, and the email just basically stated that the Pegram's property was being used as a shooting range, which is not allowed unless a conditional use permit is approved first. If this rezone goes through, it would be prohibited in this area. After discussions, after that planning and zoning meeting, Alice assured that use is gone. And talking to the neighbor who had the initial concerns, they agreed that they have not heard any shooting ranges use there since that hearing. So it sounds like that has been taken care of. With the development agreement conditions before you, staff finds that this request meets all the standards of the conditional rezone requirements, and therefore staff is recommending approval subject to the development agreement. This is consistent with the recommended approval from the Planning and Zoning Commission on March 5th. This concludes staff's presentation.
Thank you, Dan. Commissioner Dale?
Yeah, hey, Dan, the only question I have, I think is all pretty clear. It's pretty straightforward here. I just had a comment, maybe a question to you to confirm my assumption here. I see between parcel A and parcel C, there's that sort of an alleyway.
Right.
Is that just to preserve access off of Back Corner Road so that farming of parcel C can continue?
That it is another access, and it just sounds like that's just how the design worked out as well. So it does provide adequate access, and that's the amount of land she wanted to give up as part of the divisions.
Okay, it's just an interesting kind of a little alleyway there, and I would assume that it makes sense to me because you want to have access to get if they're doing hay, you got to get your balers and all that kind of stuff back in there, swather. That'd be a good access point off of Back Corner Road. All right, thanks. That was my only question.
Thank you. Commissioner Van Beek.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Dan, on that parcel that was split off earlier, that is not a part of this, but how big is that? That maybe is 4 acres?
Yeah, I can look that up real quick for you. Let me just pull up my other map here. I don't have that information readily available, but it was the first division off that parcel.
Okay, and I guess I was just curious, it looks like we're surrounded by a high number of acres in farm ground. It doesn't look like there's a lot of other development out there. So the applicant was good with having a development agreement on there. I mean, they've agreed to it, but were they okay with those restrictions?
Correct, yeah. So this came in with that conceptual site plan to split off the properties. They agreed to voluntarily provide a certain amount of land to stay in agricultural. They provided the restrictions to secondary dwellings from here on out, so it doesn't add to more residential development in an area that is predominantly agricultural. So in preservation, again, of the agricultural character of the area. So this was something agreed upon by the applicant.
Okay, I appreciate that. And if they could conceivably split lots 1 and 2, and then that building envelope area, it already has a structure, and there's some restrictions. It has that envelope, which that goes back to Commissioner Dale's question. It wouldn't allow, if you put another structure on there, to even have access for heavy equipment. So the layout it looks good. I was just wondering how many acres it's surrounded by, and I guess what the forecast.
And through the chair, that adjacent parcel that was initially split off, that's a 4.98 acre parcel.
Okay. All right.
For all intents and purposes, 5 acres. 4.98. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Any other questions for Dan?
No.
Okay, thank you, Dan. Ms. Pegram?
Yes.
Yes, this is a time we'd like to hear from the applicant. Just kind of tell us what you plan and how you're going to use your land.
Well, the parcel C, that little strip that goes in there, all of that is in alfalfa, and I plan on keeping it farmland.
Right.
The parcel A and parcel B, I have 2 daughters and grandchildren, and
Okay.
yeah, it's selfish, I know, but I want to give each one of them that property so that they can live there and live close and help me with my farming. For one thing, I'm getting a little older. Anyway, and it's nice to have them close, and my son-in-laws can help with the hay, the alfalfa, the farm.
Sure.
So
I don't think it's selfish. I don't think it's selfish at all. I have 2 grandchildren also, so.
Yeah,
They could have a bedroom in my house if they wanted one, so.
well, they have, because they sold their house, and now they're trying to, we need them to build there so that I can move 3 teenage girls out of my house.
Oh.
I love them. I love them. I love them. But I would love them more across the field.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'll just move that slightly selfish, get them out of the house, but I think it's a very good motive, personally.
Yes. Madam Chair, and Alice, you're aware of the development agreement and what the conditions are in there for you and how that restricts their building.
Yes,
right?
Yes, I am,
Okay.
and I'm in total agreement with it. I don't want to look out and see houses all around. That's one reason I bought this property in the first place.
Very
Very
good.
nice.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions from?
I have no question.
No. Thank you very much for taking the time to join us this morning, Ms. Pegram. It's very nice to talk to you.
Madam Chair, I make a motion that we close public comment.
Second.
Moved and seconded to close public comment. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
And Madam Chair, this makes absolute sense, and we've seen several of these kinds of things where families are wanting to locate relatives and give them an opportunity to build a home and be next to their relatives. I think it's as I mentioned the other day, it's a great thing, as long as they get along well. I think that works out very well. Sounds like Alice is getting along really well with her kids and wants her grandkids close to her. I'm in total favor of this, and I believe the development agreement helps to preserve and protect the agricultural ground that is already there in production of hay at this point. So that's my comments.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, I'm supportive of this application. I appreciate Dan's presentation from the staff side and Alice's affirmation that she's good and working to preserve ag, so I support the application.
Very nice. Motion?
Madam Chair, I'll make a motion that we authorize the board to sign findings of fact, conclusions, law and order, and the ordinance, and a development agreement to approve this request by Alice Pegram. This is for case number CR 2019-0018.
Second.
Moved and seconded to approve the request for conditional rezone. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Thank you again, Ms. Pegram, and congratulations and good luck to you on this.
Oh,
I think it's
thank you
wonderful.
all. Thank you all very much. I appreciate you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
you're
Y'all be
welcome.
safe. Be safe.
You too. Thanks, Dan. Well done. Thanks, Dan.
No problem,
And
Madam Chair. You
Dan-
should have the FCO and ordinance and the signed DA in front of you. So
Yep, we do.
should be all right.
And Dan,
Okay.
you've been very helpful through all this. I want to thank you and your department.
No problem. My pleasure.
Okay, that will conclude this meeting. Thank you all.
Thank you.